The fact they've had so much success with these teams that nobody expected them to is why they are ahead of schedule. Tatum at 24, given some of his current limitations, he is not yet in his prime. Jaylen Brown at 25, not yet in his prime. These guys have gotten better every single season of their career, and theoretically, they still should.
You know, the reason I took the Warriors is because of the historical perspective on this, which is what we learn is that in the end, generally, now Giannis was a good exception last year for sure, winning it a little bit younger, but I think he was 26. But, you know, even the Currys, you know, these guys everybody wants to win right now. Everybody wants to rush into what a guy is and make decisions on what a guy's career is. Steph Curry was 27 when he first won it. LeBron was 27 when he first won it. Shaq was 28 when he first won it. Michael Jordan was 28 years old when he won his first title. Kevin Durant, 28 years old. You know, and then you could go back. Wilt Chamberlain was 30. Hakeem Olajuwon was 31. Dirk, you know, we think about Dirk and being on that team that won with the Mavs. He's 31 years old when he does it.
Dirk lost 10 times in the playoffs before he won the finals.
And Dirk came into the league when he's friggin' like 18, 19. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's 31. Kevin Garnett, one of the greatest competitors to ever play in the NBA, he was 32 when they won with Boston. You know, and so I will say this. I don't know if Tatum is going to be that alpha killer best player on a team that wins the title, right? But I also know he's 24. You know what I mean? And so if you're 27 and you're 28 and you're not delivering, you know what I mean? But typically when you're younger, I always look back and I tell people, guys don't win young. I don't know why. And maybe they will, you know what I mean? Like, so, and we'll do it with Luka, and we'll do it with Tatum, and we'll do it with Morant, and we'll do it with Trae Young, and we'll do it with everybody. But like, that's the truth. Even the guys who we think and we know are the greatest players ever, and the ones that are current, Curry, LeBron, Durant. I mean, those guys are in a pantheon. Those are first ballot, surefire Hall of Famers in arguments for top 15, 20 players in the history of the game. They were all over the age of 27 when they won their first title. You know, we've gotten weird on the age thing where it's like, you know, these guys do come into the league earlier. They are more significant earlier. And so it seems like they've been around a long time. And then we make grand judgments on them. I would just say that it would have been a fool's errand to make any grand judgments on Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, or Steph Curry. I mean, think about those four, Kevin. Think about those four guys. You know?
100%, Chris. You're right. I mean, I think that's why I remember maybe it was like a month ago, I said on either this pod or Bill's pod, I forget, you know, I still think the Celtics are ahead of schedule. Yeah. And I saw some tweet responses saying, like, what are you talking about? They're ahead of schedule. They've been in the Eastern Conference Finals, you know, 3 times already. It's like, yeah, that's kind of the point. The fact that this team with so many young guys.
That was wildly ahead of schedule.
Exactly. The fact they've had so much success with these teams that nobody expected them to is why they are ahead of schedule. Tatum at 24, given some of his current limitations, he is not yet in his prime. Jaylen Brown at 25, not yet in his prime. These guys have gotten better every single season of their career, and theoretically, they still should by the time they're 27, 28. Boston, there's a window. There's a window for them, considering the fact that Jaylen Brown can become a free agent in 2024. But for the Celtics, their peak years of contention are 23 next year, 1 year from now, and 24 2 years from now. And then maybe it's actually 25 if Jaylen Brown is re-signed long-term. So for Boston, this team is ahead of schedule. They should get better. There's avenues for them to improve with their trade exception this summer. They have some tradable contracts. They have a bunch of future picks. And Tatum and Brown, more importantly than anything else, those two guys should get better, just like all of those eventual champions did that you listed off right there. You're right, Chris, 100%.
Yeah, and
Steph Curry at 24 years old still had Draymond Green coming off the bench playing 12 minutes per game.
Well, and I'll just say, Kev, there is look, I've made that. It's not an excuse. It's a reason, right?
Exactly.
Like
it's a fact.
It's a fact.
It's a historical trend. It's not an excuse.
Now, there is the other side to it, if I'm being fair, is I don't think it is crazy to wonder if Tatum, if Brown are going to be that guy. Are you that guy, right? And again, the jury is out. If you want to make a determination like, hey, Jayson Tatum needs to be the second best player on a title team, then I don't think that's I wouldn't think somebody that said that's insane, right? Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going to be true, right? Maybe he is that guy. But I was very disappointed with the not really going out swinging. I got to be honest with you.
I agree.
Those 3 fourth quarters, I don't care how old you are, that's a mentality thing. That is. And I felt like he didn't go out swinging. And that's what would scare me as he's our guy, he's our best player. When it comes time that we got to get it done, that's who we're leaning on. I don't think it's unreasonable to wonder if he's that guy, because I didn't like that. I didn't like those games. You needed him. You needed him badly. And a lot of times, even those younger guys, they didn't deliver or they couldn't deliver at a younger age. This felt in many cases like he was, and maybe we're going to find out he's got a shoulder injury and we'll get to make the excuse for him, right? I mean, he does obviously have a shoulder injury, but maybe we'll find out it was like mega bad. And that's why he wasn't going to the basket. That's why he wasn't aggressive. That's why he wasn't going to the free throw line. But all of that mentality stuff, which is just, give me the ball, I'm stopping this run. That to me, that's is that how you're wired? And that's where I would have the concern. If, you're going to need a guy next to him that's wired that way, because I don't know if he is, to where it's like, give me the damn ball. We're stopping this run right now. We know he's not a vocal guy, right? He's not like a rough and tumble, scream at the rest of the guys leader type. But you don't always have to be. But generally, I don't know. I didn't like the way he went out. That's for sure. And that's a fair, that's not an age thing to me. That's are you that guy thing. And I know you tweeted about it last night. He's not that guy yet.
Yeah.
Right? And maybe he will be. I don't know.
Exactly. I mean, I think for Tatum, the area, look, what he did against Brooklyn, 30 points per game, 7 assists, and what he did against Milwaukee, 28 points per game, 5 assists, and then what he did against Miami, 25
and 46
points per game
on the road with the season on the line.
Exactly.
That's why this disappointed me. Where was that guy?
Exactly. Like he had these moments where he was that guy along the way and showed what he can do as a playmaker. He made progress in that department. He showed what he can do filling the box score in those big games, rebounding the ball. Like you said, that's why there was some disappointment, right? And ultimately, against the Warriors, with Andrew Wiggins, the job he did with Draymond Green and help defense, we did see after this long journey, whether it was due to minutes, he played more minutes than anybody in the postseason by a wide margin, or whether it was due to the fact that he was dealing with that shoulder injury that you mentioned, or whether it was due to the fact that just a 24-year-old needs to get better, which is no doubt true for every 24-year-old in the NBA, that there's still room for him to grow and get better. And so, I think you can look at that through two lenses. I'm sure, when I did tweet that last night, there were some Celtics fans saying, recency bias, you're overreacting. Of course he's a number one. It's like, Nah, like, even if he is, there's still room for growth, and it was put on stage against a team that just won their 4th finals.
Right.
It's not necessarily like some huge criticism. The Warriors are amazing. They're incredible, dude.